I knew I would have to endure this pain inside my mind, inside my body, and inside my soul. Yeah, never knew. Yeah, I never knew. I never knew.
Hey, 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 it's your girl Sharon. I got some characters with me. But any hoot, my name is Sharon Thomas Love. I am originally from Brooklyn, New York. Yes, give it to me. I am here today with some very special people in my life. I have 5 fabulous children that I absolutely adore. And I'm going to give them a moment so they can introduce themselves as well. Let's start with chapter number 1.
What's up, y'all? This is chapter number 1. My name is Shamell. I'm 27 years old. I attend the Arts Institute of Atlanta. I'm a digital filmmaker and video production major. I have my own film company. I like to film. I do cook too. That's another
Yes,
one of my
you do.
passions. I love to cook. I just be in the kitchen making stuff.
Whipping.
Just creating stuff. I'm created to worship, so I'm gonna be created to make anything I want to make with my hands, as long as I'm led by the Spirit. So, I'm here with my family, and I want to pass on to chapter number 2.
Chapter number 2. It's your boy Shaq, man. I'm 25 years old. I'm a gospel inspirational artist. I got my own label that I'm working on, NGR, New Generation Rising. And I'm just here to lead people to God. And, I'm here with my family. Pass it to chapter number 3.
Chapter number 3 is the best. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, boy. 3 is the middle number.
Middle number.
It's your girl, Naya. I am an entrepreneur. I am a dancer. I have 3 businesses, and I'm working on the 4th.
A serial entrepreneur.
Yeah, I'm a hustler.
Okay.
I'm a hustler.
All right, chapter number 4.
Chapter number 4, the lucky number.
Okay.
I'm Isaiah. I'm 18. I also go by Two Wavy, as you know. Two Wavy is my other character. Like when I want to put on some clothes and I want to feel different, I want to feel like that. Man, that's
Beyonce.
That's me. That's me. That's me. When Two Wavy do this, he feeling good. He feeling himself. But yeah, I like the fashion, model, film, and just be a great person. Pass it on to
Chapter number 5.
I am chapter number 5. I am the youngest, and I'm 13 years old, and I'm Ayana. I have 2 of my own businesses. One is called Styles by Yanni. The other one is called Pretty Brat. And I'm an actor, singer, and dancer. And one of my businesses is an inspiring beauty with a positive attitude. It inspires young girls like me.
All right. And this is...
Talking with the Thomases.
All right. Let's get into it. Yes. How y'all feeling this evening?
I'm feeling good, man.
I'm feeling good.
I'm feeling too good.
Okay.
Too good.
Episode 1.
Episode
I know,
man.
right?
The pilot.
This is the pilot.
Man, the start of new
As
beginnings.
we are.
Hold on. I need y'all to strap your seatbelt up. And I need y'all to just lean back and relax. You know what I'm saying? Because we about to take off. This is your pilot speaking to you, Shaq the Great.
As you can see, we have some comedians here. A little bit more about me. I actually have my own tax service. I've been doing taxes over 20 years.
The best in Atlanta.
Period.
Okay. What? Actually, I'm in Douglasville, not Atlanta.
No.
But,
I mean, don't please
Atlanta,
say
period.
Please.
Nah, don't think outside the box now.
okay. So this is what I have to deal with. Let me tell you a little bit about my family. I was a single mother of 5. It has been a roller coaster, but when I look back at the journey and where we are today, everything was worth it. Was absolutely worth it. So we're just here today to kind of, bring our story to life. Like there's so many families out here that have stories, but this is our story. This is our chapters. And we wanted to share our life with you guys, with our listeners, our viewers. We got some interesting things that have gone on in our lives, and some interesting things that will be going on in our lives. So we just thought that, we're such a brand together. Like we do so much together. We just thought we just, get out here and let the world meet the Thomases. So without further ado,
It's time to open the book.
yeah, it's time to open the book. Like really open the books
book.
here.
The start of new
You know?
beginnings.
What started all this? Like who are we? Like where do we come from? People are like, the Thomases, who are they? Man. I was a teenage mom. Typical story. I had my first one, Shamell, chapter number 1. When I really sit back and think about it, I want to say I was 18, but I would be lying to y'all. I was 17 when I had this young man. I turned 18 in December, and you were born when? November, right? So technically, I had you when I was 17. I did.
That's crazy, because I'm thinking you had him when you was 18.
Me too.
Oh, well, now y'all know the truth. I was 17.
I feel like we keep up with your life.
Yes, y'all need to keep up with me. I don't keep up with y'all. But
No helping you remember.
Oh, lady.
okay, so yeah, this is what I have to deal with. So, I'm like I said earlier, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Yes, Crown Heights, Union and Troy. If you're from New York, let me just go ahead and give you my credentials. I went to Clara Barton High School, PS 221, IS 210. I am official, okay?
Period.
Yes. So those are my New York credentials. But yeah, so I had my first one, and I was the first one out of my little friends to have a baby, and it was kind of like, this kind of cool. I didn't really get the whole full mother thing till I got older, because my friends were always there. I would wake up in the morning and Shamell would be gone. Like, not even in his bed, not even in the apartment, because New York, we got apartments. And the next door is like, you can really like touch the door. You don't even have to step out your door to touch the door. You just kind of open the door and you just touch the neighbor's door. So I'm like, where's Shamell? So I went to my neighbor, touched the door, and Shamell is there. So I really didn't, I didn't struggle at that moment. I was home with my mom and all that good stuff. And then my mom got tired of me. Let's just keep it real. She got tired of me and baby daddy drama and all that stuff. And she was just like, why don't you go to Georgia? I was like, all right, cool. And I'm thinking that, I'm going to go to Georgia. I'm going to come back home. Well, see, when you young and dumb, you just young and dumb. My mother bought me a one-way ticket to Georgia. I get to Georgia. I absolutely hate it. Here I am, a fresh New York chick. And I say fresh, I was fresh. Y'all gotta understand. I had the door knockers, the red Reeboks, pink Reeboks, yellow Reeboks. I had it all. Yes. Still to this day.
Everything.
I just got me a pair of Cardi B's. Yes. Reeboks. So, yeah. So I got here with this, this little cutie pie on my little hip, Shamell. And, he was jewelry down. 'Cause that's how we do in New York. He had on his bracelets and he had his Jordans. That joker was clean. And to be honest, when I came to Georgia, I knew that I had another one in the oven. So when I came here, it wasn't my goal to have more kids. I honestly came here to not have any more kids, because it was just too much for me. It was too much. I already had one baby, and to top it off, my baby daddy just had another baby. Y'all know her, right? They looking at me like they don't know their sister. They know their sister.
I was like,
Y'all know y'all sister?
Yeah, Nene.
So it was kind of like,
Hey, bugs.
like, yo, this dude got another baby on the way, and I'm pregnant. So I get to Georgia, I'm hearing I can go to Grady, and once I get to Grady, I could, not have this baby and blah, blah, blah. So, I came to Georgia, with maybe, I don't know, a couple $100 in my pocket, if that. And I heard I can get a house down here. So I was like, when I get there, I'm going to get me a house. So I'm calling people. It's like, yeah, how much for a house? And they was like, a couple thousand. And I'm like, 1,000? Like, A house costs that much? Lesson number 2, you ain't grown. So I wind up keeping number 2, which is Shaq the Great.
Shaq the Great.
And it's crazy. Let me tell y'all about Shaq the Great. And this is no lie. I went into labor. I went to Grady. I hope you Grady people hear me. I went to Grady with a baby in my stomach, and y'all sent me home. Y'all told me I hadn't dilated not one bit. You guys lied. I went home and had a baby at home on the floor.
On the floor, he had carpet burn.
Hello, baby.
He had a carpet burn when he came out.
Shaq the Great was born at home on the floor with maybe about 50 EMS in the room. And to top it off, after Shaq the Great came out, the EMS had the nerve to say, "There's another one." So let me back it up just a little bit. Shaquille was actually a twin, which I've always known about, but the other one dissolved. So there was only one. That's Shaq the Great. Yes, it dissolved. That was some medical.
You know, it's crazy. I thought like my whole life that was a lie.
No.
Yeah, because we never like
that
really
was
talked.
fact.
We never really talked about it.
I thought Shaquille ate it. Like, you know how.
No, we all got conspiracies over this baby. Because I thought you got into a fight
Well,
with one of
dang,
your
we
friends.
just skipped over my life and went straight to him.
Ooh, okay.
It was
Somebody
a little
look-
interesting. Sorry. I'm just
I'm
playing.
sorry.
No, but I thought you got into a fight and the baby.
Well, yeah, I did forget that. So I did get into a fight with my
Yeah,
best
you got the
my
hood
best
rat,
friend.
you
Yes,
just-
let me go back to the hood part. I got into a fight with her over some he say she say about my baby daddy, and you know she tried to grab my hair, and at the time I was pregnant, and she was pregnant too, so her face wasn't pregnant, so I just boom boom boom, and she did kick me. So that was that story. That is true. Yes.
So she killed
So
the baby.
maybe I don't.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a possibility. So anyway, I have Shaq the Great. So now here I am with these 2 amazing young men. Like they were just my everything. They were like my right and my left. I mean, we toured Georgia streets on our feet. Let me tell you, we didn't have no car. I didn't realize that you needed a car in Georgia. I didn't know how to drive. Here I am now, 19, don't know how to drive a lick. I literally walked around with these 2 in my arms. And at some point, you might think this is unfair, because I was a teenage mom and I had Shamell first and had Shaquille. It was this guilt all over me. Like I felt so guilty about having another child, and this one was so young. So what I used to do was, because Shaquille was so young, he didn't know, I would put him down and I'll pick Shamell up, because Shamell was always like, pick me up, me. And it's crazy because what happened with Shaquille, he became so independent. He started walking at about 8 months. He just got up and walked. Shamell refused to put his feet on the floor.
You're trying to make a statement.
Shamell was almost,
I was here first.
Shamell was almost 13 months, and Shamell was still like, he could walk, but he didn't want to. So I literally walked around with this big old baby in my arm, and then the other one walking like this, like literally. And that was our life. And when we first moved to Georgia, it was kind of sad for me, because I left a lot back home in New York. I really didn't get a chance to experience New York like a lot of my friends have. It's funny because when I talk to them, they're like, have you been here? Have you been there? I haven't been nowhere, because I came here at the age of 18. So a lot of my youth or my teenage years, I would say my fun years, happened here in Georgia. You know, so after I had Shaquille, you know, it was rough. My sister is a Zeta, and my sister had no kids, so my sister was like my support system. Like, it didn't matter what I needed, what I wanted. These boys had everything. They didn't go without anything. The struggles came when, you know, baby daddy got involved, because he would come to Georgia, he would go back to New York, come to Georgia, go to New York. It was just like, it was a mess. It was a mess. I was a mess. My life was a mess. I didn't know if I was coming or going. I started school, stopped school. It was just like, I was all over the place. I really was. And at some point in our lives, I can't even tell you what happened, became a blur after Shaquille was born. You know, a few things happened here and there. Baby daddy came back. You know how y'all know how that go, right? Baby daddy go, baby daddy come back, blah blah. It was It was a yo-yo. He took me on a roller coaster ride. And then I got pregnant with Naya. And then it was like, okay, I've been with him so long, let's just get married. So we got married off of the limb that, hey, I've been with him so long, I'm on child number 3, and then when he found out it was a girl, he didn't want to leave. I was like, no, you can go back to New York. He was like, no, I want to be there for my daughter, blah, 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 blah. So let's just get to Naya's little life, okay? Naya. The dynamics of our family is so amazing. Naya is... The one thing about Naya that everybody always knows Shamell and Shaquille because they were a package deal. But Naya became her own little person. Naya, if you see my chocolate baby, Naya looked the way she looked now when she was born. She didn't change nothing. You know how babies come out light skinned and you're like, oh, no.
She was dark till she came out.
No.
Black beauty.
She came out the way she looks now. And I'm gonna be quite honest. When I had this baby and they put this baby on my stomach, I looked at her and I was like, she's so black. And all the doctors, everybody came in the room like, oh my God, like
I'm an alien.
Yes, it was really weird. And it was a snowstorm, so I don't know, Shamell, Shaquille, do y'all remember when Naya was born?
I do.
Yes, because y'all were there.
They
were in the room.
Who was on your right side?
You were on my right side.
That's what I'm saying.
They was there. And they put you on my chest, and I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at the baby daddy like, well, no, back up. We were married at that point. So he wasn't my baby daddy. I'm looking at my husband like, you see this? And the doctor said, well, she looked just like her father. They gave everybody a wristband except for him. He didn't have a wristband. When I went into the ICU, because they took her to ICU because she had mucus or something, wouldn't breathe. I don't know what her problem was. I don't. So they took her to ICU. And I go over to ICU, and the lady's looking at me, and I'm like, I'm here to see my baby. She's like, you got a wristband? He walks in the room. She's like, oh, sir, your baby right there. I'm the baby's mother. She was like, oh, I'm so sorry. So he never walked around the hospital with no wristband, no nothing.
That's crazy.
And if you know your dad, he's kind of
Black.
He liked to take over.
Right.
So he was walking around the hospital with the baby in his arm, which you're not supposed to do. The baby's supposed to be in the basket.
Man, so I do what I want to do.
I think you touched that basket maybe one time. He kept you in his arms.
Come here.
So that was Naya. As you can guess at that point, Naya was his baby. Naya looked just like him. I think he felt this connection because he had this seed that looked just like him. And so that was Naya's birth. Okay? And Naya, for the longest, was the only girl. She was the chocolate little one. Everybody known Naya to be, oh, she's so dark and pretty. And, that's one of the things growing up.
Stereotype.
Yeah, one of the things growing up, she had to always deal with people saying, you're so dark and pretty, as if the color black was ugly. And let me tell you, we love black. Black is one of my favorite colors, and it should be a lot of ours. So let's move on. Let's move on to how chapter 5 get here. Oh, my goodness. Let me tell you about chapter 5.
Skip chapter 4.
She got so many.
I'm sorry.
Wait, this is what I be talking about. This is exactly what I be talking about. She be leaving me out. She be leaving me out the picture.
She used to say other people leave you out, but it was her.
Wait, I'm so sorry.
Leaving me out.
Wow.
Okay.
Chapter 4, the lucky number.
Let's roll back. Let me tell you why chapter 4 sometimes get looked over. He was the easiest. When I say easiest,
And the quietest.
the quietest, the chillest, to this day, he still is. Chapter 4, here you go. The conversation I'm having now and the way I'm talking to y'all, it's time to have chapter 4. I had an epidural because this is my 4th time. I'm not about to do this again without no drugs.
Oh, so it was an accident.
Please, 5. Just wait a minute. So 4. The doctor walks in. The doctor says, push. I said, now?
Here I come.
He said, yeah. The same conversation, the way I'm having it, just like this, is how he came out. He just Slid on out, smooth.
Wavy.
Smooth.
Didn't even cry. He was like, "What's up?"
What going on?
This dude was almost 10 pounds.
Big dog in the
10 pounds. He was quiet, cool, collective, always have been, still is. Number 4 was just he was there. He was chilling. Number 3, she wasn't too cool about number 4 because she wouldn't share none of her stuff. We would take baby number 4.
Number 1.
Number 1 too. And we would put him on her little Winnie the Pooh blankets because it's just Winnie the Pooh, and she would snatch the blanket. Like, I realized this chick is something else.
In his own blanket.
But at that point, she was the only girl, so you know she had her favor, and that was all cool.
And I was the baby boy.
Yeah, and he was baby boy. So number 4.
Period.
So number 4 was really cool, laid back, chill. I can't even tell you too much of anything that happened during his birth that made me was like, no, I don't want to do this no more. He was so cool. I was like, you know what? Let's go on a bus 5.
Don't do me. Don't do me.
Be nice. Be
Yo,
nice.
wait.
Be nice 3.
We thought she was a boy.
So wait.
Man.
Why y'all think I was a boy?
Okay.
No,
So
they thought you was a boy.
number 4 was very important to number 5's life, and I'm gonna tell you why. Every day, every single day, he would greet my stomach,
And don't say it wrong.
would give it a kiss,
Right.
and say what?
Brother baby.
Say good morning, brother baby. And he did this until I had her.
It's crazy. I
So
remember saying it.
you remember?
Yes.
Okay. So by the time number 5 rolled around, life was just upside down. Totally upside down.
She came
Yeah.
It was before his time.
Really?
So by then, the marriage was not a marriage anymore. We were separated, but not separated. I was here in Georgia, and he was in New Orleans. This is when. But let me just back this up a little bit. I'm so sorry. Number 4 did have something important happen in his life. I was pregnant with him when 9/11 hit. I was.
She was.
I was. I remember laying on the floor. I thought I was asleep. I wasn't really asleep. And on the news, I heard, oh, a plane just hit the Twin Towers. And I'm thinking, no, I'm like, this is not really happening. So that's what happened during number 4's life. Like 9/11 came and took over. So that's, we appreciate you being a quiet storm.
Joy. Like,
So-
it was so much. Go ahead, Mom.
Okay, so number 5, let's get to her. Number 5 is when life turned upside down. Because at that time, we already had 4 kids. It was definitely a struggle. And here I was again, pregnant with the last child.
I couldn't believe it. Are you serious?
I do.
I was done with this.
It's crazy, but I do remember him saying, like, are you serious? So at that time, my husband was not, he was in and out the picture. He had been in and out the picture since number 4, but number 5, it really became to light, like, this is not going to work. And, I found out I was pregnant with her, wasn't happy about it, because here I am again with another child by the same man, and he wasn't doing right by the others. So anywho, number 5 came. He decided at that point that he wanted to live in New Orleans with a chick that he met. Hold on. So, the chick that he met, she found out that he had a baby on the way. Not only did this man have a baby on the way, he had a whole family. 4 kids and 1 on the way. And she was adamant about having my husband as her man. So I was a firecracker. I was that one that I'm fighting for my man. I'm coming to get my man. Like, you're not about to have my man. I got 4 kids. You know where I'm from. I'm coming to see you. Like, I'm knocking at your door. But by this time, I had no more energy to knock at nobody's door. I was over it. I was like done. Like, this was it. I'm like, Lord, if you want this baby here, you're going to have to feed this baby. You're going to have to supply for this baby, because I am not going to do it. I literally did not eat. To this day, it amazes me how she grew and blossomed into such a beautiful flower. Because prenatal vitamins out the window. They were giving me depression pills. Doctors were giving me all kind of stuff. And I don't know, Shamell, Shakir, you guys probably remember at that time when your dad called and said he wasn't coming home.
I remember that. I remember that.
I remember.
You remember too, Naya?
I do.
And I was pregnant with Ayana. So this is the time that our lives really, really start to become chapters when Ayana was born. Because here I am, young, and I had lost my job. I didn't even have a job at the time, y'all. I was working, and my job closed down because the housing industry was going bad. Everything was going bad.
Is that Atrium?
No, I was working then at Masterpiece Lighting. And then my job says to me, we're going to lay you off. I'm like, lay me off? I'm pregnant? Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I have always loved doing taxes. So I was doing taxes at that point too, but I was doing it bare minimum. It wasn't a real business for me. It was something to do to make some money. So I had taxes. Okay.
Jackson Hewitt.
Yeah, I worked for Jackson Hewitt at the Walmart, and then, that's what I did. So let's just go back to 5. 5 was devastating. And I tell you why, because here I am, I'm getting emotional.
I see you in the face.
I can't see me put my glasses on.
So no, seriously. After I had Ayana, which is number 5, I was in the hospital, and my brother brought all of the kids to the hospital
I remember that.
to me. They walked in there. They were so excited. Like, Isaiah was looking like, that's not a boy. He was not happy. I think Isaiah was the only one that felt like I felt.
I was about to walk out that room.
Yeah. He was not happy that she was a girl. I just wasn't happy that I had another kid just because. So my brother brings all of them down there to the hospital, literally. And when he brings them in the room, they're so excited and they're jumping around. And they're still kids. And I'm telling them to sit down, be quiet. They're laughing and giggling, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, I went into a serious panic attack. Baby daddy wasn't there. Well, no. He wasn't my baby daddy. My husband didn't show up for the birth. He didn't come. So I'm like, oh, my God. Not that I have 1 life, 2 life, 3, 4, but I have 5 lives to literally take care of. 5.
No, we not cheap.
We love you, Mom.
Love you, big dog. Hey. You stronger than that.
It was hard.
Look at that.
It was hard. It was really hard. 5 kids alone. I was 30, 32, 31, however old I was. But I had 5 lives to take care of. And they looking at me like, what we gonna eat? They looking at me like, when we gonna go shopping? Like, they looked at me for everything. And I'm looking back at them like, it's 5 of y'all and 1 of me. Do y'all realize that? It's funny because I really don't think that y'all ever realized that.
Yeah, now that you're really talking about it,
I'm
it's
like,
making me
hey,
sad too.
I did.
I
I
wasn't
just wanted to
close.
die.
So,
Yes.
so it was 10 eyes looking at me. 10 eyes. 10 eyes of not only my DNA, but someone else's. And 10 eyes that I had to take care of, literally. So, y'all looking at me 10 eyes. Yup, they got 2 apiece, thank God. So, anywho, after 5 came, things changed dramatically. It was a lot of drama going on. I mean, there were multiple types of fighting. I was moving. We always moved all the time, but this moving with 5 kids, y'all have no clue. Let me tell you something. I think Shamell and Shakir know how to pack a house up faster than you can say boo. We moved so many times. It was like it was traumatic.
Put us in the middle. You put us in the middle where we live at right now. I promise you, with my eyes closed, I get out. We've been there so long, moved so many houses.
We have lived all over Douglasville. It's funny. I remember Naya saying she'd been to like several elementaries. I'm like, no, you haven't.
We've been to Holly Springs, Beulah Elementary, New Manchester Elementary. I think those.
Arbor Station.
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't go to Arbor Station. I think.
I've been to
I
one.
was
We
at
been to
the
Palmetto, we
roof.
been to Union Street, we been to Douglasville, we
Yeah.
went to Union City. We stayed in College Park. We stayed everywhere.
Palmetto.
I said Palmetto.
Oh, you did.
Yeah. So, by time 5 came around, it's like, girl, what you gonna do? You gonna barbecue, you gonna mildew?
You gonna fly, you gonna fall.
You gotta do something. Like, you got to take care of these kids. And it was so many times I thought about driving their butts down to New Orleans, right where he was, dropping them right on the steps and going about my business. Because you know why? That was easy. But I realized that I loved my kids so much that I was going to do whatever I needed to do to feed them and make sure that they have whatever they needed. Not wanted, but needed. And so I became this serial hustler, like a hustler. I realized the money in taxes. I said, you know what? I'm going to go back to school and get my accounting degree. I went back to school. And I went to school for about 10 years. 10 years before I actually received my bachelor's. So I got loans out the wall. I'm telling you, my loans like $150,000. I'm just being honest, like it's there. But I had a point to prove. My point was that I wasn't going to be a statistic. I wasn't going to have these 5 kids and the system was going to continue to take care of my children. Did I get food stamps? Yes. Did I get child care? Absolutely. The only government program that I didn't get on and I wish that I would have had was some Section 8, because Section 8 pay rent. If they would have paid my rent, I'd have been good. But I had to pay that rent. So, I couldn't fail. It wasn't an option for me to fail. And what I did to channel my energy was, instead of worrying about what my ex-husband was doing all the time, I started to focus on what my kids could do. So Shamell and Shaquille, my oldest two, my right and my left, they didn't get a lot of what the others got. The others got football, dance, gymnastics. They got the works. Shamell and Shaquille, they didn't play any sports growing up. Shaquille played sports by himself because Shamell was looking at him like, you better not touch me. They did play was it baseball?
Baseball for the Atlanta Braves.
Baseball they played, and Shaquille really enjoyed it. Shamell, the other hand, the ball rolled past Shamell. He was looking like,
I ain't touching that.
you want me to get it? You got to run for it,
I
Shamell.
tried to, but
So, and then plus, I didn't have the money to really keep them in sports, so they didn't get to have the finer things in life as the youngest 3. So when I realized that my children had talent, I went for it. And I didn't stop. Naya, I realized this little girl, she got a little something on her. She liked to dance. And I've always wanted to be a dancer. And I said, whenever I have a daughter, she was going to dance. And so I put Naya in dance, and she just blossomed. She was like I love to see her on stage. I love to watch her dance. Like, watching her dance was just like, it just took me somewhere else. And then Isaiah played football for almost 8 years.
But since I was 4 years old.
Since he was 4 at Mount Carmel in
And you stayed in
Douglasville.
the dirt.
And he had a very, very, very good, I'm going to say, football career for a young
We
man.
ain't lose no games.
They were undefeated.
They got trained by the best too.
They did. His coach
Shout out
was
to
Coach
Coach
Sean
Sean
Simmons. Yes, Sean
Wait.
Simmons.
You missing out the most important.
Sumo too.
The reason why I
Sumo.
was a good football player, because chapter number 2 right here.
All right. So give it back to 2. So what happened is, and then so let's just go back to Naya a little bit. I'm gonna get right there. I'm gonna talk about how Shamell and Shaquille became the daddies. 2 for 1.
Wait, is this thing on? Oh, hey guys, it's Ayana, aka chapter number 5, and I hope you all enjoyed last week's episode, because this week is all about me. No, I wish. We have some very special content dropping out for you all. You don't want to miss it. So please follow all of our social medias like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even TikTok. And those will be down in the description below. And we appreciate all the love and support. If you want to be notified every time we post, make sure you turn on those post notifications. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.